Morning, Lexiot, Raptor Freak here. Sunday, the Raptors are playing the Miami Heat tonight. This is a night that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a couple months, a couple years, just in general this season. This is going to be a highlight game because of Kyle. Yep, Kyle. There's been so much media about Kyle in the last couple of days about his feelings about Toronto, about his teammates' feelings about him, about this and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a heavy emotional kind of night. And I'm going down to the arena. I'll be at the game tonight, watching it in person. And hopefully, Monique and I have made arrangements to meet up and take a picture and pal around for a little bit at the game. It would be nice to see her and stuff like that. So let's get right into it. All right. Right now, Miami on their injury report is actually empty today. But the weird thing is that Miami played last night against Chicago, right? In Chicago, and they beat them pretty good. They beat them by about 20 points for the whole game. It was really like Kyle with Jimmy and Bam, and then Tyler Hero off the bench hit 6 3-pointers last night. This is one thing we've got to make sure today that we do not allow Miami to get good things going beyond the 3-point line. And the three guys that are really important to watch out for are Tyler Hero, Max Struess, and Duncan Robinson. Like none of those three guys need to be getting anything. And one of the things about the games we played against Miami already this season is we've had some success limiting these guys from going off. And we need to continue that tonight. And I feel like we got a good chance. We've got OG back. Fred is running around at a better speed. So is Gary. And those guys are going to be really crucial to closing out and making sure that these Miami guys, who aren't the most athletic dudes, don't get good open shots. That with our length, our athleticism, and strength, that we can cover them really well. But we really need to dedicate it to that. And another good thing is we've been rolling lately as far as how we've been playing our defense at times and stuff like that. But that is a huge area that we got to take care of. Is on the down low, the Miami Heat are a smaller team than us. Like there you have Bam Adebayo as their center. He's kind of like our guys at center. That's about the same size. You don't have a towering guy. And then when you go down from Bam, they get smaller and smaller compared to us. So we do have some real mismatch opportunities with our guys on them, whether it's OG getting a bully ball, real close lob down near the basket and just dunking it or putting it on guys, or getting that matchup where we just kind of like have low post success in different ways. So I'm really looking forward to that. On our side, guys, first of all, the 905 had their last game yesterday against the Greensboro Swarm. They won the game, finished with the best record in the G League this year. They're guaranteed home court advantage throughout the whole G League playoffs, which is absolutely fantastic. Delano Banton played in that game. He got 21 points, had a good job. Justin Champagny also played really well, but also surprisingly, Malachi Flynn played in that game, started in that game. He did not look good. He only made one shot. He was like 1 of 6, but it was his rehab G League game. That probably means that he's going to be able to play for the main roster soon, sometime this week, which is awesome. Good morning. Jimmy Pope is here. I'm definitely going to shed a tear, especially from that tribute video. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what that's going to be like. Like, honestly, this has been a really crazy weekend already, just leading up to it. And just, I'm trying to hold back different stuff in different ways. And later we'll see how it goes. It's going to be, honestly, like I said yesterday, if you do not have a tear in your eye, then maybe you don't have a heart connection to the Toronto Raptors, their franchise, the GR.O.A.T, the guy who is the leader involved in bringing that Larry O.B. here the first time, and just all the different things he did, like putting his body on the line. Like, honestly, I remember when Kyle came to the Raptors, and I remember he was a bad reputation from being in Houston and some of the things that happened there, and that he was kind of a hot-headed guy. And when he came in, he was still kind of that guy, and he really changed over the years, matured as a person, as a player, as a leader, just in all kinds of different ways. And it was badass. And it was great to see because in some ways, when he first got to Toronto, there was a lot of ways they could have detoured where he was gone and wouldn't have had 9 years on the Toronto Raptors. It could have real easily just been like, whoop, I'm out of here for this reason or whatever this reason. And, in 2015, I went to the George Strombolopoulos show. He was hosting Masai Ujiri in a very famous interview where he talked about, not wanting the New York Knicks job. And I think he basically said, fuck Phil Jackson and the Knicks or whatever. And then also I was yelling at him from the crowd, re-sign Lowry, re-sign Lowry. And that was in 2015. And he heard me because he went and re-signed him after that summer. And think about that. It's really good that we did re-sign Lowry so many different times that we did. When there was questions about whether Lowry would be coming back to the Raptors or not, each time we re-signed him. And it led to eventually down the road, us winning our first championship in 2019, which is badass. It's so awesome. But yeah, that was a tumultuous road. The different times we failed when we get to the playoffs and we play the Cleveland Cavaliers, they mess us up and Kyle wouldn't be completely healthy and he'd shoot really poorly. And then the people were on him. We were awful to him at times as fans. We were so vicious in critiquing him and putting him down and saying all this stuff. And you know what? He just took it. He soaked it in. He got better and better. And we changed strategies and we did different things. And he finally made it and stuff like that. But he could easily hate us because of the abuse that we gave him at different times during his tenure with Toronto. But no, it's all love. And he understands that was just part of our passion to want to win. And that, the things he's saying about Toronto, how he's one of us, he's never going to leave and all this stuff, I believe him. And we were talking about this yesterday, where there's like Vince and Chris, how much they've come back, Chris Bosh, to Toronto and been involved in the franchise compared to guys like Alvin Williams and Morris Peterson, Muggsy Bogues. Well, we know Kyle is going to be like that latter group. They're going to be like the team, the guys that are going to be involved up here after his career is over. We're going to hopefully see Kyle Lowry in commercials on our Canadian television up here. We're going to hopefully see him come up here and get like a key to Toronto again, or have Kyle Lowry Day, or different ways we can celebrate him. We know we're going to put a statue out there for him, so he'll always be here in that way also. So it is going to be a really emotional night. But once again, also on the other side, this is a game to play, and we are in the midst of an unprecedented playoff run at the end of the season in all kinds of different areas. Like, I want to talk about what Atlanta did last night just for a sec. Beating the Brooklyn Nets in that game last night with Kevin Durant scoring his career high point total of his whole career, 55 points, and they still didn't have enough to beat Atlanta last night. That is writing on the wall, y'all, right there, that the superstar system does not work. That Kyrie and Kevin could be perfect, but nobody else in the fucking Nets showed up last night. And 77 points from two guys, they ain't going to be enough. You're not going to be able to keep up with a more complete team, with a deeper roster, with a lot more talented guys. And that's what Atlanta proved last night. And if they can do that in that game last night when Kevin's trying to win, you don't think that they can beat them in a 1 and out in the play-in, at the bottom of the play-in this next week coming up when the play-ins play? Yeah, Atlanta can put out the Nets in one game if they're both sitting in the 9 and 10 next week when the season ends. It's going to be very interesting. That I just wanted to talk a little bit about that right now, that we've already seen the Nets Achilles heel and the playoffs haven't even started. People say, oh, they can kick it to another gear. Sure, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving can, but can the rest of that fucking team? I don't think so. So yeah, who you seen something real good last night with that Brooklyn loss. And they're at the bottom now. They're sitting where the Lakers were a week ago. Now, they can't fall out of the play-in because all the other teams have been eliminated, but they can definitely stay in that 10th spot. Oh, yeah, they can. Daryl Turner's here. Good to see Daryl. Good morning, my G. Is the Raptors rested enough for this matchup with the Heat? Such a great luxury for us. Like I said, we got a day off. They played in Chicago last night. That was a contested battle. DeMar was trying. He didn't shoot very well, DeMar. But yeah, the Miami had to play last night. They're going to come here tonight. This is in our favor. And one of the ways it could be in their favor is these are older guys, some of the guys on the Miami Heat. Are they going to rest anybody tonight that's not in the of report right now just because it's the second night of a back-to-back. That is very common at this point in the season. I hope that it's not Kyle Lowry. Apparently, he came down on his ankle, stepped on somebody's foot at some point last night, and might have slightly twisted his ankle last night. But like I said, there's absolutely nobody on their injury report right now. They don't even have the guys they had on there yesterday, which were Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent. These guys aren't even listed at this point. So I don't know if that'll change this afternoon, if there'll be a real injury report that comes out from Miami, but there's nothing right now. And on our side, when I look at it, we've got, let's see, who's out right now. We know Yuta is day-to-day still, and they're still saying Malachi's out for the game today, even though he played for 905 yesterday. He did not look good yesterday. I'm just going to say that Malachi did not look good at all in the 905 game yesterday, their season finale. All right, let's keep going. Tom Duke said, hope you are all rested. Big day ahead. Have the best time. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm pretty rested. It's an emotional day in all kinds of different ways for me. I'll be working out some things tonight, hopefully. Get some of that emotion out. Yeah, there's different kind of emotions I'm having today. Let's just put it that way. Jimmy Pope saying, with all due respect, the Heat need to get that work tonight. We can definitely keep that 5 seed. Yeah, I completely agree with this. We have such a focal thing to focus on with Kyle Lowry's return and the emotion and stuff. And I was talking about this the other day. We can't let this be like the Washington Wizards season opener where we had the emotion of being back in the Scotiabank Arena, not in Tampa, back at home here in Toronto. And we can't have that kind of effect on our play in the game. That they need to bring their lunch pail and still come in as business and work. And I love some of the things some of the players are saying leading up to the game. Like Chris Boucher has said this weekend, we want to beat his ass. Like Chris said that in the last 2 days. He said, we want to beat Kyle's ass. So they have a certain focus on wanting to beat their ass. And some of the other things I've heard in the last couple of days are that Kyle is going to probably foul Fred a lot. He doesn't want to guard Fred. He said that also. And he also said he fully expects Nick Nurse to tie him up and not let him do anything, that he knows him so well that he's going to have a plan for him and that he's going to make Kyle Lowry a non-factor in the game tonight. So hopefully some of this stuff that we're talking about will happen. But this is so true, Jimmy. We want to continue to win out. If we can get a 10-game winning streak going out, we're 5 in a row right now. We're going for 6 in the 6 tonight. If we can get to 10, by the way, we're out. This means we might be in the 4th seed with the home court advantage in the first round. Oh, man, Celtics fans been attacking me. They came and attacked me this morning talking shit. They are scared. They are so scared. They're talking about this and that. Oh, we would have won this. And the refs were actually biased for them, against them, and for us in the Celtics game the other night. Oh, fuck that motherfucker. They're scared because they know Time Lord's out and they're going to be in trouble. So right now, because Chicago lost to Miami last night, we flipped and we are in the 5th seed right now, which is badass. And that also means we are set up to play the Sixers in the first round as of today. So we'll have to see how, once again, it's all going to shuffle around a lot. And by the time we get to New York City on Sunday next week. So it's going to be really interesting each day this week to see who we are opposing and whether we are in the 4th or 5th seed at a certain time too. Yeah, because I'd love to get that. And another stat that was really interesting that was put in front of me, we got to realize that the Chicago Bulls on February the 25th were actually number 1 in the Eastern Conference. And we are actually ahead of them now in the standings. That is something crazy because that's like what? Just over a month ago, they were number 1 in the Eastern Conference, and now we're above them. That's fantastic. It's amazing. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. Yeah. Tom Duke saying thanks to Kyle for getting us into 5th place. Yeah, he did have a part in it. He got 19 points last night. He had a double-double. Had a pretty good game last night. We'll see how he does tonight. I think Nick Nurse has a game plan for him. Raymond Jacobs saying that statue has been decided. The statue of Kyle should be the moment he tried to go under George Hill's legs. But do we have to have George Hill in the statue, Raymond? We don't want to put an homage to another player from another team just to put Kyle there. I don't know. This is a good topic of discussion. Maybe we'll do a Thursday think tank one day where we talk about what should the statue of Kyle be. And I don't know if I agree with that one, Raymond, just because George Hill would have to be involved, I think. At least his legs and his crotch would have to be involved for it to work. I don't know if I like that, Raymond. You know, you have a lot of good ideas, but we'll figure out the right one. Maybe it's I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head what's the most iconic Kyle Lowry pose that we should have that statue be. G saying the Nets are 10th and the Lakers are 11th. What is this world? I mean, these are supposed to be the NBA super teams, these darlings, these ratings busters. Boom, boom, boom. Watch them play. Ooh, Nets versus Lakers on TNT tonight. Fuck that shit. These guys are pretenders. They were pretenders last year. They were exposed last year. And once again, we see a repeat of the results. That, some of it's injuries, sure. Some of it's injuries for the Nets, but still, that recipe just does not work, y'all. You don't let LeBron GM and bring in all of his friends and try and figure it out that way. And you don't try and build a super team by just collecting a bunch of former all-stars that are past their prime on the Nets side. Yeah. And like I said, that Hawks game, the way it went down last night is exactly how I expect their playoffs to go out. Is they don't have a team concept. They don't have an overall team strength. They have two really badass superstars, and they're waiting for the Australian one for next year. And yeah, they're not going to get that far in the playoffs. And I'd love to see them go out in the play-in. Like Trae Young, he just got a blueprint last night for how he can beat them in one game and put them out in a play-in situation when they have to next week. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. All right, let's see what else you guys are here now. Let's start talking to you. Kenny's saying epic game tonight. Nick has something for Kyle and the Heat for sure. This Nick Nurse is such a great planner on how to shut down different people. Of course, he's going to know how to shut down Kyle. He knows every single weakness this man has, having been coaching him and been around him for a long time as an assistant and the head coach. So yeah, they're going to know it. And plus the teammates know. Fred knows too. Fred knows exactly what to do to him. And there's going to be really fun moments on the court. They're going to be enjoyable for us to see the kind of the competitiveness and the fun of playing in the game, but you're also like really good buddies. We're gonna see it tonight. We know we're gonna see those moments. Hopefully Kyle plays, though. I really hope he does. I hope there's nothing weird because of his ankle last night. Callie's saying it would be wonderful to beat them in our home court. We need to start strong and get momentum. Yes, as per usual, this is a great recipe for a key to the win, is to get out there and be the first one to hit first and be the first one and start with a good defensive effort right away. Raptors. The watermark is 30 points. We don't want to see the Miami Heat have 30 or more points at the end of the first quarter. If we can keep them under 30 points, that will show that we are actually doing pretty good with the defense, whether they're not shooting well themselves or we just got good defensive energy agitating them enough to keep them low. Because sometimes we just let them run free right from the start and then we try to clamp it down as the game goes on. But I don't want to do this right now because every second of the game is valuable for winning and trying to get to that win and stuff like that. So yeah, I completely agree, Cal. We got to start strong and get the momentum on our side. And we don't want their 3-point shooters to start feeling good because when they feel good, that's bad. We don't want Tyler Hero feeling good in any kind of way. We need to stop him. G saying Kyle in an interview said he has no idea how he's going to play because he will be emotional. Yeah, I could see that too. And he's trying to say that if you see it looks like he's crying out there, he's not crying. And if they make any like memes or anything like that with it, where they put tears on there, they're fake. That they Photoshop them in. He's such a tough guy. He's hilarious, and I love all the jump cuts, the different edits that people have been doing of his years in the media scrum with the things that he said back and forth with different reporters and the funny shit he did, like the time when he had Drake on the phone and Drake said he was going to translate for Kyle and Kyle's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And the different stuff like that is just hilarious. There's a lot of cool mixtapes, edits of that stuff going on around, whether it's plays or like his interviews and different things about Kyle. It's just a Kyle love fest. Just celebrating the GR.O.A.T. Kareem's here. I love seeing Kareem's name because I'm usually smiling after I read what he says. Watching the post-game interview with Kyle, Jimmy sounds like Jimmy might not even make the trip. Pussies. Ooh, that's good intel, Kareem. So maybe they are going to do something like that. It is really fishy that their injury report is blank right now. I don't believe that that's true. I know. And it may be that they're not going to send somebody like Jimmy Butler, partly for the things that we've been talking about, as far as like why players don't want to come over here and maybe get a quarantine or something like that. International quarantine is not what you want at this point in the season. And they may think that way. And they may also be like other teams recently and say, this is a scheduled loss. It's the second night of a back-to-back. We won the game last night. It was important. And maybe that Kyle's like, hey, on the download, let's do a solid for the Raptors. We had to give them Goran this year, and that didn't work out. Maybe we feel bad for them. And, if Jimmy's not going to be there tonight, hey, I ain't got no problem with that. No problem with that. Jimmy Butler. And, I actually did a deep dive yesterday watching what exactly happened with him and Spoelstra and Haslam. And it is a lot more toxic than it seems. Like if you see I actually saw a transcript of what was actually said in the cussing back and forth between them. Jimmy Butler straight up said to Udonis Haslam, you don't even play, man. Fuck you. He basically said that to him in that whole argument back and forth. So these guys don't like each other. And there's obviously dissension and division on this team. And it may be, if it's Jimmy's team, Haslam's just got to retire at the end of the year. Because I mean, seriously, it's not. I don't think they can coexist because they obviously do not like each other. If you saw if you saw the transcript I saw, and you actually read what they were saying to each other when they were yelling at each other, this is not a functional like friendship or anything. And I don't see how they can be friends after what was said either, because it was very cutting and personal what they were saying to each other. It's really crazy. Tom Duke saying Kyle taking a charge would be my good Kyle Stitch. I think that's about right. Like, I don't know if you got him like this or something. There's some iconic pose I'm just forgetting right now that he did. Maybe we get a poster of the picture that I posted for this video. Something with him with the hat and the glasses and holding the trophy from the championship parade. Something like that. That would be a badass statue to have him actually holding the trophy in the statue. That would be really kind of cool, actually. Let's see. Raymond saying, I was just kidding. My choice would be Kyle preparing to take a charge statue. So, okay, so there's 2 votes for that. We just got to get the right pose or what the signature like set with his butt out. The sculptor is going to have extra material for that area of the sculpture because there is a little bit of extra butt in there. Yeah, that's why I say that with love, Kyle. And you know that. Jeff Schisler's here. Good to see a new name. Here sometime between 8 and 11 a.m. every day, Eastern Standard Time, talking Raptors. I hope it's not another triple overtime. That game was nerve-wracking. Wasn't it, though, kind of one of the best games in the whole entire NBA for the whole season, though, too, also, Jeff? I mean, I get what you're saying. We want to have a low stress meter for Callie and the rest of us. We have a stress meter we take care of every single after the game. We talk about how bad the stress meter was the night before. And yeah, it'd be nice if it wasn't that much of a crazy game, but that was an epic game in some ways. We get that entertainment value tonight from the game. In some ways, that'll be fun as long as we get that W for the Raptors at the end. Oh, yeah. But yeah, maybe it shouldn't be too stressful. If it's 3 overtimes and I'm sitting at the game, I'm going to get my money's worth then. Okay, Tom Duke said, "Oh, you just gave me flashbacks of that game. What a doozy that was. Both teams were on a tear. Going to be a beauty for sure." On the down low, Miami has won games recently, but they had a really bad losing streak around that little kerfuffle in their timeout. So there is weird things going on. And the 2 games that they won recently, or I guess there's 3 now. They're on a 3-game win streak. Is they've been against big opponents. Like they beat Boston and Chicago in this 2-game win streak. So it's hard to really gauge where they're at with their chemistry and how they're doing, because they have been showing bad chemistry and losing recently, but also very recently they have taken care of business and gotten W's. So like I said, we don't know. Kareem's saying maybe Jimmy Butler's not going to show up tonight, even across the border. That could be a huge factor. So it's really hard to handicap to see who actually is going to win tonight. I think it's going to be a pretty even game, but with home advantage and just with the way we've been rolling with our synergy, OG being back is huge. Like OG Anunoby in this game is going to be a huge factor in this game. I really predict that at this point right now. Let's see. Yeah, G saying, I like the glasses hat in the trophy one. I think that it would be cool because it also shows right away we are champions as a franchise, and he is the Raptors champion. And you put that Larry O'B cradled in his arms and him kissing it with the glasses and the hat. That is pretty iconic, and it goes flashbacks to that great championship parade day too. So Jimmy Pope says these games bring brings such good experience. Any of the kind of these close games, the stuff that Scotty is learning right now is so invaluable. And these are the blueprints, the beginning. And the great thing is he's around good examples of people, how they deal with it, how they prepare, how they're dealing with these playoff situations or these big games. And in the end, he's going to learn so much watching Pascal, watching Fred prepare, watching how Nick Nurse gets the team ready is so invaluable. And it's the kind of thing where in the beginning with the seed, when it's starting to grow a plant, if you really take care of it and foster it, it can grow to be a huge, beautiful, very healthy plant because in the beginning it got the right care. And if he's on a seed on another team that doesn't have these kind of settings, it may not be that he grows into his full potential as a player in other places. He ends up on a YouTube channel like Stunted Growth. So he should feel really fortunate. And remember this, Scotty. I know you're smart enough to realize how being in Toronto and being drafted by Toronto has set you up for future success throughout your whole entire NBA career for years to come. That if you were somewhere else, you may not be getting this insider master class in how to be an NBA pro, how to prepare for the playoffs, how to do all this kind of stuff on other teams and stuff like that. It's awesome. Let's keep going. Raymond Jacobs saying, I changed my mind. Now I want Kyle's taking a charge, but with Alexi's idea too, holding the charge with the trophy. Hey, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If we can get it all in there somehow, some way. Callie saying, got to run, have a blast of the game. Hope it's not too crazy stressful. Yes, Callie, we'll check notes tomorrow in the morning about whether our stress meter was like if you were cussing too much, all that kind of stuff. We'll figure it out. But yeah, tonight, let's have a positive, fun time. A big welcome back, emotional back, happy tribute video, all that kind of stuff, but also business. This is a game. This is a NBA game that matters in our race. If we win this game, we get some distance from Chicago, who's below us, and we get more solidified in the 5th seed at least, and maybe even closer to the Sixers in the 4th. So it is a very important, crucial game for ramifications with our playoff seeding and stuff like that. So Tom Duke saying, and he is up on top of a parade bus, bottle champagne and trophy. This is not even going to be how the Leafs have their whole section with a bunch of like Leaf players along a row. We'll just put a bus and we'll put Kyle up on the roof with Drake, and Kawhi doesn't have to be there, but we'll start filling in other Raptors over time. They can have the little bench thing for the Raptors, and we'll have the championship bus, and we'll put the statues up on top of it. I don't know. And you can go up on top of it like you're a fan and stand on the bus and relive that feeling of holding the trophy with Kyle on top of the bus. That's how special he is. He doesn't just get a trophy of his human body. He gets his trophy on top of a trophy that's a bus also, and it's full bus size too. That's how badass he is. Oh yeah, I like it. All right, let's see. Daryl saying the Lakers lose Friday night, just like the Nets lose last night. Both LeBron and Davis scored a combined total of 61, while the rest of the team scores 50. Durant, Irving scored a combined 86, while the team 29. Exactly. Like, what's left over? Who's stepping up? Blake Griffin? No. Goran Dragic didn't even play last night. And Goran Dragic, you said you wanted to go to a team with a better chance for the championship. Well, good luck with that one and done in the play-in, buddy. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love to see this kind of stuff happening. And once again, I love that it's the San Antonio Spurs that have usurped LeBron and the Lakers and put them out, and they're taking a spot. Yeah, you go, Jakob Pertl. You go. All right, G Santa, finally I'm seeing Scotty hype in some media. They got to do it. They cannot ignore this. He really was in some ways the leader of how we won in Orlando on Friday. And yeah, they got to start talking about him. Tom Duke saying, yeah, G, he might actually get his flowers. Hope so. Next 5 games will seal it. Yeah, let's just control our own destiny. Whether it's by winning games, getting W's, looking good out on the court, scoring a lot and doing the right things, the winning plays, Scott, getting maybe a late block, some important rebounds, maybe a important steal. Maybe you do a crazy badass section of the game where you just take over and you're just dominating by hitting with 3 here. Then you go to the basket and slam it. Then you do like a post over them and just put it right in. Do that kind of stuff, Scott. You're going to build more and more of a case for you to be Scotty Roy. and we believe in you. We think we're going to get there. All right, guys, let me do the ref report real quick. Tonight, guys, we have a very experienced ref crew. We've got a 30-year ref, we've got a 26-year ref, and then we've got a 13-year ref, somewhere around there. These guys have been around. So our crew chief tonight is Tom Washington. Tom Washington is not good to us, guys. I'm not going to lie. We have a very poor record under Tom Washington for him being around for so long. In fact, let me bring up the spreadsheet real quick. Under Tom Washington, we only win 43.4% of our games. So that's below our franchise record, which is right around 48%. So 43. Tom Washington's not a favorable ref. He likes to what is his favorite book is the Bible. We're doing books today. His favorite book is the Bible. So he's a religious man. Like I said, he's going to be our crew chief. He's not a very favorable ref to us. He lives in Atlanta. Then our referee is actually Kevin Cutler. He's going to be the more, he's the guy with the nicest record towards us. Our record under him when he's reffing is 56.7, which is not bad. 56.7% wins. And his favorite book is Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, which is some stuff that happens in NBA games all the time when you're talking to referees sometimes. This is uncomfortable conversations. And then the last guy is our ump, and it is Benny Adams tonight. He's actually a 28-year ref. So he's been around a long time. And his favorite book is The Little Engine That Could. That's a great book. Honestly, I like what that says about him, that he has a child's book as his favorite book. And his record for us is 46.5. So he's pretty bad too, just like Tom Washington. They're both unfavorable for us. So I don't know how that bodes for things or anything, but at least we have an experienced crew. That we have a lot of experience from refereeing games, but that could be bad. Tom Washington is not a name that we like to hear, just so you know, just from the past. And Benny Adams isn't necessarily good for us either, but Kevin Cutler's okay. So there's your ref report for tonight. Those are our refs: Tom Washington, Kevin Cutler, and Benny Adams. All right, what's next? Tom Duke, it's time for that mascot matchup, real mascot matchup. So last time we saw the Raptor, he was with a husky demigod that was hovering in the air, and he said, it's time for you to see where you have come from. And he's taking him through magic, through space, and he takes him to this field where this man has this bucket and it's a peach basket or something. He's putting it up on a post, and he said, who is that man? The Raptor said, oh, that is James Naismith. And he said, well, why does he look like Will Ferrell? Oh, it's Will Ferrell playing James Naismith because he's mad at Adam McKay for not putting him in the new Lakers show. Oh, okay. So he's James Naismith. Okay, what is he doing? He's inventing basketball. Oh, very cool. Okay. Oh, wait, go to the next place. Where are we now? Oh, great husky demigod. Well, we're in Toronto in 1946. At the Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens. Oh, what's going on here? Well, they're having the first ever game. You see those wolves running around on the court right there? Those are your forefathers. That is why they were helping you. Those are the Huskies. Oh, wow. This is actually the first ever NBA game played in the history of the NBA. Wow. Ooh. Go to the next place. Who's that? Who's that sitting over there playing golf? Sitting on a caddy, like sitting on the golf cart. Oh, that's Kyle Lowry. Do you know who he is? No. Well, that's the greatest Raptor of all time, Raptor. Oh, wow. And then all of a sudden, a feeling of emotion came through the Raptor, and he remembered it all of a sudden, that this may be some sort of weird psychedelic dream that he's been on for these last couple weeks in these stories. And then he felt a feeling for someone that he, just by seeing him, I remember it now, that in 2019, this man finally got to the top of the hill and grabbed that gold Larry O.B. and brought it to Toronto. And he felt a feeling come over him, a feeling of joy and love and appreciation towards him. It was a feeling of heat, of love towards Kyle Lowry in that moment. And in that moment, the Raptor didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with Kyle, seeing him sitting on a golf cart in the middle of a golf course on his off day. And he was thinking about it. What will happen next? What will the Raptor do? Seeing Kyle Lowry sitting on that golf cart and, his feelings of heat from the love that he is feeling in the air for the GR.O.A.T, the greatest Raptor of all time. There's your cliffhanger, the real Raptor mascot matchup. A little weird today, but yeah, a little bit like Christmas Carol. Christmas, past, present, whatever, future. All right, let's keep going. All right, that's crazy. All right, let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, Lex, I think these records may be tainted by having Kyle in the past. He annoyed a lot, but maybe since Kyle's gone, the refs' records may change. Need time, thought to analyze new patterns. I've actually thought about this factor with Kyle and his relationship with certain refs is acrimonious, and that may influence it. Part of it is also Benny Adams and Tom Washington have been reffing in this league since the Raptors were in purple dinosaur jerseys. So they reffed a lot of games when we were in the Sky Dome. They reffed a lot of games when we were a 20-win team. And that does factor into the win percentage thing. What I'm going to do when I do this ref study for the summer is I'm going to break it down year by year and control it by what the Raptors actually did that year and see if there's any kind of stats that tell me that there is a little bit more underneath each year or above each year with each ref. That's how I'm going to do it. So I have thought about this a lot, in particular to 30-year refs and 25-year refs refed when we were expansion team. And that has to be factored in with it. And that some of the younger refs have better records with us because we've been a badass team the whole time they've been refs. So that is something I've had to think about. And then particular, yeah, I did think about Kyle Lowry's specific singular impact on how we get refed, because he is kind of acrimonious with certain refs. We know he has a problem with Natalie Sago. They do not get along. No, they don't. But yeah, that's a good point, Raymond. And these are the kind of things I have to think about when doing this study to make sure that it's fair. And in particular, the long-standing refs, they're going to take me some time to actually figure out whether they've been good or bad to us in relation to how often we win in that season and with how often we win underneath them reffing. Stuff like that. G saying you should do the report for the other teams too. Yeah, I might do that. I may in particular just do the Celtics and not all the rest of the league, just because of the difference in their franchise and ours. And that in particular, I think that they would be a team, just from my eyeball observation, that they may be getting favoritism. And it may be interesting to see if there are refs that favor them in certain years and they don't favor us, and that's consistent. That's the kind of stuff I'm really digging at. And I found a resource that has all this information. So I can dig and do all kinds of fun number crunching that I love to do and really come back with some definitive information for everybody. All right, let's see. Mascot matchup. This is Tom Duke. Series has always been deep, but now has come full circle. Cliffhanger, history lesson. Kind of does feel like Christmas these days. Looking forward to it. Hey, Tom, I'm glad you're enjoying it. In some ways, this is your segment, buddy. If nobody else is enjoying the mascot matchup, I know Tom Duke gets something out of it. And yeah, it is coming full circle. I'm glad you picked up on that, because we are getting to that point. G saying meant the day of the game. For instance, today's ref and how they officiate the Heat. Yeah, that would take a lot of extra work. I actually just have like a spreadsheet right now with our percentages with all the refs. And it would just mean, like, in the morning when I get the ref report, I'd have to go and get into that database and actually like try and look and find each thing. And I don't want to do too much more work right now. I want to do it all in one big report. But yeah, you know what? I'll consider this actually for the playoffs. How about that? For each playoff game, I think that's a good suggestion. I'll put in the extra work and I'll bring in what the numbers look like for the other team. That is a good suggestion, G. I like that. All right, let me just, what else do we have to do? We did the mascot matchup. We did ref report. The injury reserves, like I said, Malachi's out. Yuta's day-to-day. I don't expect to see Yuta. And they've recalled all the 905 guys. So Justin should be on the bench with the team today and stuff like that. I don't know if he'll actually be available to play or not with the rules. It kind of has to do with, has he played his maximum amount of games allowed? There's a certain amount of games that he only can play on the main roster. There's some weird rule or something. So we'll see. And yeah, Bonga's hurt right now, so he's not available. I know that. And what is the other things? Oh, Goran got COVID. That's why Goran was out of the game last night. He has COVID now, finally. So, but all right. Yeah, tonight, let's take it very business like. We'll have the emotional stuff. Let Kyle feel it. Maybe it takes him completely out of the game. It's a distraction for the Heat, and we're very business like. We seem to be really rolling in a really awesome way in different ways and stuff like that. We're getting more notice down south for Pascal for All NBA. We're getting more notice for Scotty for Rookie of the Year, and we're getting more notice just in general because we're winning and we're moving up in the Eastern Conference standings this late in the season. I love it. Tom Duke saying Malachi's back, played a few minutes yesterday. 905 won a good one. Yeah, he did not look good in that game, Tom Duke. He missed pretty much all of his shots. I think he was like 1 for 6 or something, and he only made like a 2. He didn't look good. I don't know if he's completely ready. And I think they're already saying he's already ruled out. Or no, he's just saying he's questionable today for today. But I'll bet you he won't play today. It'll probably, if they'd use anybody, it'd be Armani Brooks. And that open gym about Armani Brooks that came out on Friday night, watched it yesterday. Fantastic stuff. He just fits the mold of a Raptor player. We talked about what are your qualifications to be on the Raptors team. Well, being undrafted and having a chip on your shoulder and wanting to prove everybody wrong is sometimes a very good qualification to be a Toronto Raptor. And that's something he shares with Fred VanVleet because Armani did not get drafted. And he told us he has a chip a bit on his shoulder from that and wanting to prove everybody wrong. And I didn't realize how badass of a shooter is. Seeing the clips of him in the G League and what he was doing for Atlanta was pretty badass, like from what he's been doing the last couple of years. So I really have some high expectations for Armani to hit his shots when he's out there. That he needs to be that kind of role that we needed from Svi this season all along. That it's Armani now. Daryl saying, is Duncan playing? I'm not sure about the other side. Duncan Robinson. He played last night. And like I said, the Miami Heat, if this is by strategy or something, maybe they don't have some guys crossing the border and they just haven't told anyone. There's nobody listed on their injury report. Absolutely no one right now. And I know that that is not true. That when they play a back-to-back, some people are going to be sitting tonight. Somebody's going to be sitting. And it could be that Jimmy Butler just didn't get on the plane and come to Canada. And we'll see what happens. We might not know right away. So I don't know. Let's see. Tom Duke saying starters only at this point. No, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how the game goes, honestly. Like we break it open. Yeah, we can get those guys off the bench some minutes now. That's fine. But yeah, maybe it is kind of we're going into the heavy minutes, really keeping them conditioned and ready. And that's part of how we do it. That these guys are just 40-minute men. They're going to get most of the minutes, the core, the starters. And that's playoff kind of basketball. That's the way you do it. You have your best out there to try and win the game. And you bring in guys like Thad, Precious, Kem, Chris to kind of get breathers here and there. And you don't have any drop off because they're part of that whole core also. So I think at least the core, and you probably won't see those guys. But if we see some Armani Brooks for different reasons tonight, I'll be very happy with that because I feel like he could do some things to really help us today also. All right, let's see. What else did I have to do? I think I got everything. I'm a little out of the loop. I'm sorry I started so late today. I was going to try and start earlier, but I had some things happen here and I had to take care of them and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, so ref report. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I don't want to get emotional about thinking about Kyle coming back and the tribute and all that kind of stuff. We'll just deal with it then, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow and stuff like that. This is a really kind of a full circle thing, that it is really fucked up and sad that we had to play in Tampa last year and that he got his last season in a Raptor jersey, not even in our building. So we need to welcome him back properly tonight and just really show him the love that like this dude has been a real one. He is the greatest Raptor of all time and he deserves the best love from us. Daryl saying, here's something that I read might play a factor in the playoffs with the Raptors is the COVID-19 vaccine issue. This keeps coming up. And the thing I keep saying is if this was, why is it going to be an issue now with the playoffs if it isn't been already an issue in the regular season? Like people are talking about the Sixers and the Celtics in particular and them not showing up and like being here. Well, let's see what happens on the 7th with the Sixers. Who's going to show up and come across the border? Players aren't allowed to play for their teams right now. That's the fault of their franchises, that their general managers, their personnel people should have been on top of vaccine statuses and understanding how it would work and whether they could come over here. If these teams have already been coming here, then I don't understand why this is an issue all of a sudden now. And that's why I feel like the Tim Bontemps stuff is just hot air. It's made out of nothing. And that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum didn't come because they didn't want to deal with a quarantine possible. It's so weird what's going on like now with this COVID-19 vaccination thing. And like we said a couple days ago, this may partly be politically motivated to stoke the fires against mandates and freedom convoy bullshit and like being against the vaccines in general in every way. People have very nefarious, weird reasons for why they put shit out there. And this is, I think this smacks of this at this point. And the effect that it's having is really, it's making Celtic and Sixer fan really uneasy and kind of scared because they don't know who on their teams is allowed to play here in Toronto, depending on if they get us or not. And in some ways, that's an advantage of us no matter what. Because we can't control, once again, who gets hurt, who can't come because of vaccines or anything like that. We'll play whoever the fuck shows up and we'll beat your ass. And that's all we want to do is we want to beat your ass. We don't care if your star players are here. We want them to be here because we want to beat your best. But we can't fucking control that. So we will take whoever comes and we'll beat them. And that's what we want to do. That's basically it right there. When it comes cut and dry, we can't control who's going to show up. We can't totally control sometimes who's going to show up for us. And we make the best of it. And you guys, whatever team we're playing, you need to do the same too. So that's the way I look at it at this point. But if it's a factor and it becomes something that's an issue, hey, it's not going to hurt us because we're on the side that will help. And that's why they're so pissed off about it. That's why a salty Celtics fan came and blew up one of my videos this morning, writing all this bullshit and saying crazy shit because they're scared. They're scared. G saying reactors for other teams talk about how Nurse plays players that other coaches wouldn't even touch. They said this is as a compliment. Yeah, they're making excuses from COVID too. That's another thing. They want to hedge their bets. They want to try and disqualify or asterisk anything we do well. Like they want to start early just in case. Like, you know, if we go on a really good playoff run and we win the Larry O'Brien, what do you think they're going to say at the end of this if this becomes an issue? Yeah, exactly. They're going to say that this is why we won, some other bullshit. And that's what it is. Anyway, y'all, it's about 45 minutes. I really appreciate y'all being here this morning with me. I'm a little off today. I apologize for that. I want to come in with the right mindset and be ready to do this in an upbeat, fun way. But I've had some things happen today that have kind of thrown me off a little bit. So hopefully everything will be back to normal tomorrow and I can come in and be that ball of thunder that y'all are used to. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Tonight's going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to seeing Monique later and seeing Kyle and just feeling the whole feeling of it. I'll come back tomorrow with a reaction and an on-scene report of what happened tonight. And hopefully it comes out with a win and we just have a love fest for Kyle, but the Raptors win. And that's the really important thing. Tom, I appreciate you too. You rock also. All right, guys, let's go Raptors. We got to beat Kyle tonight. Beat his ass. Just like Chris Boucher said, we got to beat Kyle's ass tonight. That's what we got to do. Jimmy Butler ain't showing up. He ain't showing up. We can't do nothing about that. It's not up to us. We can't control that.